Hi guys, this is question number 9 of June 2022, paper 2R. So the question begins by saying that write a 3 by root 3 by bracket 3 minus x to the power 3 in the form of a bracket 1 minus bx to the power minus 3, where a and b are fractions in their lowest terms. So at first, for part A, we have been given an expression which is 3 by 3 minus x to the power 3. So this expression is in a fraction right now. So if I wanted to be written in the multiplicative form, then this would be 3 minus x. This won't change, but the polarity of the power will change. So it was positive 3 here. So this will become negative 3. And if you look at this, the 3 minus x to the power minus 3 is in the form of c plus bx to the power d. I usually write it in a plus bx to the power d, but as we are asked to actually express it in the form of a here, so I'm not using that here. So here c is 3, b is minus 1 here, and d is minus 3. But also you have to remember that there is a 3 before, so write the 3 here, the constant, so 3. And when the c is actually not equals to 1, and we have to bring a 1 in the expression, the thing that we do is, at first I will write the constant 3, which is getting multiplied with the c, multiplied by, which is getting multiplied with the c plus bx to the power t. So at first, when the c is not equals to 1, we have to make it 1. So we take the c out from the bracket, so there will be c here, and there is a power here, so we need to write that indices or power, whatever you call, and it would be 1 plus b by c x to the power d. So for our expression, this would be 3 minus x to the power minus 3. So 3. Here's in our expression c is 3, so it will be 3. b is minus 3. Bracket 1 plus. So let me change the brackets. So curly brackets here, the square brackets here, and b here is minus 1. As there is nothing written before x, so we can consider the coefficient of x is minus 1, and c here is 3x to the power d, which is minus 3, and bracket close. So this would be 3 multiplied by 3 to the power minus 3 is 1 by 3 to the power 3, which is 27. Bracket 1 minus 1 by 3x to the power minus 3. And 3 multiplied by 1 by 27 is actually 1 by 9. And this would be 1 minus 1 by 3x to the power minus 3. And we have actually written it in this form. So a bracket 1 minus, I think, bx to the power minus 3, right? Yeah, to the power minus 3. So here a is 1 by 9 and b is minus 1 by 3. So b is 1 by 3, so minus b and is equals to minus 1 by 3. So b is equals to 1 by 3. So minus b is equals to minus 1 by 3. So b is equals to 1 by 3. The minus will get cancelled. For part B, they have asked us to expand the expression. So for part B, the expression was 3 by 3 minus x to the power 3, and we know this is equals to 1 by 9 bracket 1 minus 1 by 3x to the power minus 3. So this is actually in this form. So a to the power d bracket, or if I just use this actually here, as we are using c here, so it will be c to the power d 1 plus b by cx to the power d. And to expand c to the power d, bracket 1 plus b by cx to the power d. The format is actually this. So b by cx to the power d. Bracket, first you need to write c to the power d. And then bracket 1 plus d multiplied by b by cx plus d multiplied by d minus 1 divided by 2 multiplied by 1 b by cx squared plus d multiplied by d minus 1 multiplied by d minus 2 divided by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1, and this will be b by cx to the power 3. We are asked to expand till we get x to the power 3. So we don't need to write more terms. So C was actually 3, and D was, we got that to be we got that to be minus 3. And from that, we know C by D to be 1 by 9 here, right? Bracket 1 plus D in our question was minus 3, and B by C here, if you look at this, is B by C is minus 1 by 3 x plus D is minus 3 multiplied by minus 3 minus 1 divided by 2 multiplied by 1, and B by C is minus 1 by 3 x to the x squared plus D is minus 3 multiplied by minus 3 minus 1 multiplied by minus 3 minus 2 divided by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1, and b by c is minus 1 by 3x cubed, bracket close. So this will be 1 by 9 will be 1 by 9 here, and this will turn out to be 1 plus minus 3 multiplied by minus 1 by 3x would be just x, plus if you put all this, minus 3 multiplied by minus 4 divided by 2 multiplied by minus 1 by 3x whole square, then this will turn out to be plus 2 by 3x square. And this minus 3 multiplied by minus 4 multiplied by minus 5 divided by 6 multiplied by minus 1 by 3 cubed would be plus 10 by 27 x cubed. And if I multiply 1 by 9 with the whole expression, then this will be 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9x plus 2 by 27x squared plus 10 by 423x. So this is the answer for part B. For part C, use a suitable value of x with your expansion in part B to obtain an approximation for 24 by 125 to 5 decimal places. So they have given us another expression, which is 24 by 125. And they have asked us to find the value of this, but this has to be done by using the expansion that we have just did in part B. So if you look at our expansion, we need a value for x. So at first we need to find a value for x, and to do that we will assume that if you look at this, 3 by 3 minus x whole cube will be equal to 24 by 125. they both are in fractions, so we can assume that these two will be equal, and then we have to find the value of x, for which 3 by 3 minus x to the power 3 would actually become 24 by 125. So for this, at first, we would do is 3 multiplied by cross multiply, so 125 divided by 24. And if I take this here, so 3 minus x to the power 3 whole cube, then this would come out to be 125 by 8. 125 by 8 equals to 3 minus x whole cube. And if you do this right now, 3 minus x, and if you take the power to the left-hand side, then this would be a cube root. So this would be a cube root 125 by 8. And 3 minus x would be 1 cube root 125 by 8 is actually 5 by 2. So x would turn out to be 3 minus 5 by 2, which is 0.5. So we have found a value of x. Now if we put that value of x here, so 3 minus 0.5, that was I think x, yeah, 0.5 bracket cube into the expansion we got was 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9. At this time that we'll substitute x with 0.5, and this would be 2 by 27, and this would be 0.5 x squared plus 10 by, sorry, this would be not 423, I wrote it wrong. This would be 243. I'm sorry for that. So I checked with the rough one I did before making this video, and sorry for the mistake. So it will be 10 by 243 whole cube. So this would turn out to be 0.190. Sorry. So 0.190 329 2181. They have asked us to, I think, give it in 5 decimal places. So in 5 decimal places, this would be 0.1903. And if you look at this, up until 2, this is 5 decimal places, but after 2, there is 9, which is greater than 5. So the 2 will turn out to be 3. So this is in 5 decimal places. And then they have asked us, find the percentage error to 2 decimal places of your approximation from the actual value. So what is the actual value? The actual value of 24 by 125, if you do it, in your calculator, if you place that in your calculator, then the actual value if you place that in your calculator, which is 24 by 125, it is 0.192. But what we got was 0.19033 by actually assuming that 3 by 3 minus x to the power 3 will actually be equal to 24 by 125. So we assume that. So the percentage difference, or the percentage error is actually calculated by using this formula the actual value minus the calculated value divided by the actual value into 100%. The actual value we know is 0.192 minus the calculated value we got from the part 1 was 0.19033 divided by the actual value, which is 0.192 into 100%. So the percentage here is 0.8698%, or you can say that 0.87% to 2 decimal places. So thank you.